You guys there at the Sentinel launched a big series about the City Beautiful and what makes Orlando, Orlando. I love this because one of the things that we've always said since we moved to Orlando is that Orlando has a lot of characters, but it doesn't always have a lot of character. That because it is a newer city, you don't sometimes always see the things that make Orlando special.
And we're working on it. Do you think Orlando has a soul, Amy? I'm going to ask you that right up front.
I do, and you know what? It's funny, but it takes, you have to be here for a while and really sort of get into the city and really understand the city better to see the soul.
Well, reporter Kevin Spears has been here a while, and he's actually been working on this project for almost a year now. It's online right now on OrlandoSentinel.com, and basically he's searching for the soul of Orlando. So I want to ask you, where did this whole idea come from?
You know, I've lived downtown in Orlando since 1993, and early this year I decided I'd start walking or riding my bike or catching the city free bus to work. And along the way I'd have a notebook and camera and I'd just see what would evolve. Well, about 10 days into that, it occurred to me that I really don't have, as long as I've been here, I don't have an understanding for the essential character of the city. So long story short, that evolved into the search for the soul of Orlando.
So, and that's what you're seeing right now. These are some of the images that are with this project, which is online right now. So who did you talk to? You're riding your bike, you're walking. What types of people did you end up talking to?
Anybody and everybody, on the street, on buses, at events, sporting, entertainment, porch prowls, bars, restaurants. I drove my wife crazy for a year, cornering everybody I could. But I also reached out. As it happened, I was able to travel a lot this year and stopped in a lot of cities, from Philadelphia, D.C., Las Vegas, Austin, California, a number of cities in California. And beyond that, I even talked to people in Cuba, where I visited for a while, and the Bahamas, where I went sailing. So it was a pretty broad search for the soul of Orlando.
Yeah, and Amy, that's one of the interesting things. When you get to take a look at this project, it's multiple parts, lots of video, lots of photos. You notice that Kevin goes to different cities and asks them, you know, what do you think of Orlando? You know, he talks to people from all over the country and the world, really. You know, what's your impression of our city? And he also compares it to some other places in the United States.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kevin, I'm curious, how many times did you hear the word Disney? It had to be a constant.
You know, when you get outside the city, even when you're still in Florida, in South Florida, for example, that's all people really know about Orlando, the theme parks and Disney and so forth. And there's virtually no appreciation for the people who live in the city and what's going on in the city.
Now, whose fault do you think that is? Is that a marketing thing, or is that just, you know, what everybody thinks of Orlando?
You know, Orlando's come a long way since 1971, since Disney arrived. It's changed the entire character of the city. I just don't think that there's been much need on the part of visitors to figure that out. We know what's going on, but the rest of the world doesn't.
So what really surprised you when you were talking to all these people?
You know, I have to say that I heard a lot, and we understand this, that we're not the theme parks. We're not Disney, right?
Yeah, I tell that people all the time when they come traveling, you know, go to Disney one day, but come to the rest of the city.
So, and I'd turn around and say, okay, so then what are we if we're not Disney? And then I'd get a variety of responses. But what surprised me is I talked to a lot of people is just how much influence comes out of the theme parks. I met lawyers and mechanics and artists and performers, a whole host of people directly connected to the attractions who bring their talents here and live here and participate in the community. So while we think of ourselves as, you know, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck are not running circles around Lake Yola, the presence of the attractions is very much here.
Yeah, and Amy, I think a lot of this also has to do with people from all over the world come here and come to live here. I mean, I'm not from here. I'm pretty sure you're not from here either.
No, I'm from Ohio. But listen, I got to say that of all the things in the world to be associated with, to have Orlando associated as a fun place to come with your family, my gosh, I mean, we're lucky that that is what we're known for.
Oh, good.
So, I got the million-dollar question then. Did you find the soul of Orlando?
You know, this was one of the most fun stories I've ever reported. I'd ask the question, what's the soul of Orlando? And people would engage immediately. But what they provided in telling me the soul was often a list or a menu of things they think are really cool and enjoyable in Orlando. That soundbite or tagline or whatever didn't come along very often. And It's not to say that we're soulless by any means. We just have a hard time coming to grips with how to describe our soul. So
wait, I'll ask you then describe our soul, since you did this for a year.
You know,
No pressure,
I
Kevin.
just don't think it's there. Other cities, they have that soundbite soul that they can just throw out there right now. Winter Garden, the mayor of Winter Garden, he said, Mayor, what's the soul of Winter Garden? He said, well, we're a modern-day Mayberry. We just like that. He nailed it. We cannot do that yet. The thing of it is that we have so much churn, so many people coming through here for so many reasons. You know, there's two kinds. It used to be that there were two kinds of people in Orlando, those coming and those going. And so we haven't given ourselves an opportunity to let our storyline, our history, our culture gel into that soundbite. It's coming. And one thing that I think that's really important to bear in mind is that our diversity is really amazing. People from every walk of life, all over the world, and it keeps Orlando open and accepting. And that's pretty remarkable. I hope that does feed into the soul of Orlando, whatever it turns out to be.
All right, well, Amy, I'm staying. Are you staying?
I'm staying. I want to go move down.
All right, we're putting our roots down. All right.
It's good stuff. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, John. All right, we're going to get a quick check on your forecast.